Welcome to the Walmart FLW Tour. This is third day action on our second stop of the year. We started out with 150 pros, 150 co-anglers. We're down to 10 on each side. The co-anglers fishing for their championship today. The pros fishing to make it to the final five who'll fish tomorrow for the $100,000 first prize. And the place where we're at this week, Jerry McInnes, couldn't be any different from where we were the first time on Clewiston, Florida, on Lake Okeechobee. That place you just needed a lake map. This place you need a map of the entire southeastern United States.
A little more complex. And this is just incredible. We got a map trying to figure out where everybody's at. I tell you what you do. You read the list of the top 10 guys. I'll do my best to point out about where they're going.
We'll test you on that. Start with number 10, Rob Kilby.
He's fishing in the Pascagoula River. He's right here at home. He's only an hour away.
David Cook.
Same area for David.
Randy Blockett.
Randy Blockett just happened to run into some fish schooling close to home here, so he'll be fishing in the Pascagoula River.
Marty Stone.
Well, he's just fishing in Alabama. Maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from here.
Running through the open Gulf to get there. Roland Martin.
Same thing with Roland. They're fishing a small area over there. They think they can catch a limit of fish in 15 minutes and turn around and make their way back.
Gerald Swindle.
Same place, Mobile Bay in Alabama.
All-American champ Kim Carver.
Kim's fishing up the Pascagoula River maybe an hour and a half from here.
David Fritz, who's already won 3 times on the tour.
And he's fishing fairly close to home. He's back in the Biloxi Bay, which maybe an hour from here.
We have Roland Martin, and we also have Scott Martin in the field.
Those two and Greg Swindell, and maybe even Marty Stone are almost fishing side by side in Alabama.
And Randy Howell, our leader after the first 2 days.
Randy was fishing in Venice, Louisiana, all the way across the ocean to his bass fishing spot. I don't believe he's going there today. He may go there tomorrow if he makes the finals. I believe he's fishing in Biloxi Bay.
Now, a big story here is we always cover 5 guys, even on this third day action. How are we going to cover these guys who are going all over the globe, literally?
Well, that's a problem.
I thought so.
Matter of fact, some of these guys that we're covering up in Mobile Bay, you know, the camera guys and the boat operators have all got together, and they're actually going to trailer their boats back out of here to Biloxi, all the way over to Mobile, launch their boats, and hopefully beat the guys going across, because it's predicted that there's going to be some high seas out
4
there.
to 6 swells.
And some people are just going to get really bounced around out there. So we thought the best plan, or they thought the best plan, would be to trailer with a GPS, find the exact place where they were going to fish, and just meet them right there.
So our cameras are going by the roads, the fishermen are going by the water, and how much time are they going to have to fish when they get there?
Well, okay, the cameramen, we're thinking, can get there in an hour and a half. The fishermen, depending on the water, could be 2.5 hours. If it was real good, it might be an hour and a half, but most likely it's going to be closer to 2 hours. They've got one little spot out there. Scott Martin and Roland and Marty and Swindle, you know, they've all told me they're just going to this one spot. Whip out a rattle trap. Bam, 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 bam. And sometimes they're catching their limit in 15, 20, 30 minutes.
These guys got to be ready to roll.
And then they actually turn around and start making their way all the way back. We've had an interesting week. A lot of guys have tried that and not made it back on time and run aground and got in the fog. And we've got a lot of elements to fight here.
Like Jerry says, lots of elements to contend with today. And how about the wives of these anglers who are out there dealing with all this stuff? These wives worry about those elements as well. Randy Howell, his wife, Robin, he thinks a lot about her.
Oh, she loves it. She's the best thing for me, I tell you that. The Lord probably made one woman for me, and I'm glad I found her when I was in high school. It makes it a lot easier to get an early start and have a good wife supporting me. And she backs the boat in, takes it out, practices with me, and it's just the best thing in the world. So she loves it.
Robin Howell is liking today a whole lot more, I think. Randy is not going halfway across the Gulf of Mexico.
Man, he was
so much to worry about.
He was fishing off the radar screen, wasn't
Absolutely.
he? Our fish are going to run small today. These guys are really looking for 1 or 2, 3 or 4 pound fish to go along with a
little one.
They know it's going to be a small limit. They're catching most of them on jerk baits and lipless crank baits, few of them on floating worms. All these fish are shallow, and I say that they're going to be small. They have been in the qualifying days. The fish are really affected by the tide. Some of the guys are catching more fish from noon to 2 o'clock.
When you say affected by the tide, you mean that they're going to be in different places during different points in time?
Absolutely. You know, I think these fish will fight all day long. But the tide moves them around, moves the bait around, and it's their job, the fisherman's job, to figure out, as always, it's their job to figure out where they win.
That one's going to make it.
Ooh, he skinned it right there. We'll take him for a little while. They better not have nothing right now.
Well, not so much affected by tide at this point as Tim Carver. He's just affected by a little bitty channel, a tiny chute to get into the part of the river he wants to get in.
He's going way up the Pascagoula, and then when he gets up to oh man, an hour away, I guess, it takes some little chutes to get back into the pockets and the little oxbows that he's fishing.
There they are, the camera crew we were driving with over there to Mobile. They've made it. They're sitting ready to go, just waiting on anchor.
I've only been here for about 30 minutes in the last 2 days. And I caught my 3 biggest fish on the first day in here, and I never came back here yesterday. Sometimes I make 5 or 6 casts to a log. I'm just on an old Bagley Balsa B plug. This plug here is probably 20 years old. It's one of the old timey Balsa plugs. Probably similar to the old Big O. If the wind's blowing this hard out in the Gulf, I feel sorry for them boys.
Well, he feels a little sorry, I think. Here they are right now. This is the I-10 bridge, believe it or not, over Mobile Bay, and our guys seem to found their way in there, getting close to the fishing bar.
That's also Highway 80 going across there, too, and I don't believe Kim feels sorry for him one little bit. It was howling. I imagine the guys have waited nearly 2 hours to pick up their fishermen, and kind of looks like Scott is feeling his way underneath the bridge.
Bit of a wrong turn. He looks like he's on it now.
Good news, though. His fishing spot is in sight. Good news for Scott, anyway.
Proud sponsor of the Walmart FLW Tour. And by the Coca-Cola Company. Always Coca-Cola. The Walmart FLW Tour Pascagoula River Tournament. This is Scott Martin. This is actually just the last 10 minutes of his journey from the Pascagoula River over to Mobile Bay. It looks okay here, but I assure you, it was rough out there in the bay as he ran across. David Fritz, on the other hand, well, he chose to avoid that altogether. A lot easier route for him.
Hey, let back.
Hey. That ain't what we're looking for either. I don't even think he'll make the grade.
David Fritz, whom we really haven't seen as a factor in a tournament since back in '97 when he won 3 tournaments in the championship, although that was a heck of a year.
3 years. And he's been in some top 10s, but this is his first 5 quite a little while. And as everyone knows, he's an outstanding angler.
Well, he doesn't make it. Now, let me tell you what. I'm going to have to get rid of that one. He ain't even close to being the right one.
Back to Mobile Bay, Scott and Roland Martin both fishing now, thinking about that, but also thinking about that trip back.
We might not be able to get back. You know that, Scott? We might not be able to get back. You don't think? I don't know.
Get the net. Never mind. He's a baby. But it was a fish.
Tim Carver and his partner there, Jimmy Bass from Melbourne, Florida.
Kim's a gutsy little fisherman, isn't he, Tom? I really like the way he fishes. He kind of reminds me of the baseball player that always figures some way to get on base, or a little halfback that gets an extra yard all the time. He's just a gutsy little competitor.
Got a great record on the FLW Tour. He's there more often than he's not there when it comes to the top 10 or 20 places.
You're 12 inches long.
Scott Martin may be showing us, or starting to show us, why he took this long trip, why he took the risk. He is, again, fishing a lipless crankbait. They fish this bait because they can cover a whole lot of territory. And Tommy, you might think that he's right out in the middle of the ocean there, but he's not. He's got a little break line that he will follow all the time. As a matter of fact, we'll start seeing the markers from time to time, but he's not just throwing anywhere. He's got a good plan.
I love to be on the board.
Well, Randy Howell, I don't think I've ever seen you as shaken up as you were on that first day. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, Tommy, I ran 110 miles to Venice, Louisiana the first day. And out in the middle of the Gulf, the fog fell down, and I lost power for some reason out in the waves. My Lowrance and Eagle GPS went out on me. And when that happened, I didn't have any way of knowing where land was, and I floated out for 2.5 hours.
Oh, my.
And figured out finally by calling some people and found out how to get my hot wire wired into the direct feed on the battery so I'd get power to my GPS. And it took 2.5 hours. The fog was heavy, and we got it fixed, and we still ran an hour and a half and got to Venice at 12 o'clock. And I fished for 2 hours and caught 13.5 pounds and came back. So it still shook me up because I really had fear that I was going to get stuck out there all night. Nobody would ever find me. I was going to be like Gilligan out there, I guess.
Well, tell us, why did you go all that way, and why are you not going there the past 2 days?
Well, I've got two good friends, Ross Watkins and Mark from Louisiana. They took me over there last Wednesday and showed me these couple little spots. And the fish over in that area are a lot bigger. They run 3 to 5 pound average in that area off the Mississippi River. And I know I could win the tournament over there without a doubt. But today, you might can see the wind's blowing 20 mile an hour now, and it's probably going to get worse than that today. And I was going directly across the Gulf, not around it, but straight across it in a bass boat. So that's not real smart to start with.
What's happening right now?
Right now, we're on this low tide, and the wind may be blowing some of this tide out. I don't know if it's blowing it in or out, but the water's too low, and these fish are looking to spawn in these pockets, and they can't get up on the bank good when it's low. So when the water gets up, yesterday I caught them from about 12 to 2 real good. So maybe I'll get better later on in the day.
Back over to David Fritz and his co-angler partner. That is Daniel Fletcher, Newport, Arkansas, on the White River there. And we're talking, of course, to and about the pros a lot today. But actually, this is the day for the co-anglers. This is their championship day. We haven't seen them do a whole lot yet.
He ain't much. Man, where are them chubs at?
There he is. Net. Bigger fish. Well, that'd be number 3.
We fish for Kim Carver, who's trying to fish his way into the final round of this Walmart FLW Tour Championship on the Pascagoula River.
Not much bigger, but a little bit.
Kim Carver, that big win on the Upper Mississippi in the All-American tournament, but the conditions here are a little bit different, aren't they, Kim?
Yes, sir. They're a little different. The water's a lot shallower here, and there's no smallmouth here.
There's no smallmouth. And you're, well, you know what? You're close to home, and yet you're an hour away.
Well, yeah, but actually I grew up down here on the Pascagoula. Every summer I'd come down and fish with my aunt and uncle down here up till I was about 15 years old.
Well, I'll be darned.
Well, now that's got to be an advantage, right?
Yeah, I'm staying with my aunt down here and my grandfather, and it's a really exciting tournament for me.
Home cooking and home fishing, and man, you can't beat that.
Well, I only threw a red wiggler and the crickets when I was down here before.
Can't do that today.
Have you actually fished some spots in the last couple of days that you would have fished many years ago as a youngster?
I don't even know where I was many years ago as a youngster.
So it is no advantage.
It is no.
I don't even know where I am right now.
There's a lot of us in that boat.
Yeah, I should say.
Kim, I'll tell you what, you do like to fish with a crankbait, though. I do know that because I've fished with you before.
Yeah, crankbait's one of my favorite ways. Of course, I try to be very versatile. This is the only thing I could catch the big ones on, and there's 2 other boats in here during the tournament, and neither one of them weighed over 8 pounds for either day. And I came in here, and I've only spent 30 minutes in here the first day of the tournament, caught 3 big fish. So I feel like the crankbait's producing the bigger bite in here.
What kind of crankbait are you actually fishing with?
I'm fishing with a plug that's probably 20 years old. It's an old square bill DB3.
Did you fish in the same place yesterday, Kim?
No.
You laid off of it?
I stayed off of it yesterday.
All right. You think that's going to be the case tomorrow? You'll be able to fish that place tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of water up here, plenty of fish. The fish haven't bit today. I really feel like I need to change strategies, but I'm too far into the game to change right now. So if I get to fish tomorrow, I'm going to re-rig some new baits up and, you know, go at it maybe at a little different angle. But I'm not putting my crankbait down tomorrow.
Back in Mobile Bay, that's Roland Martin up in the front of the boat. Back of the boat there, the co-angler Doug Caldwell, friend of mine from Payne, Pennsylvania. Nice guy. And he's hooked up with him.
And he's a friend of yours, Tommy?
Oh, yeah. He's from the same place. Jack Bell, who's on the pro side.
Oh, that's right.
These guys are good.
Hey, well, remember, there's 5 boats out there that we're not covering, and these pros are just trying to survive this day and get to the finals. This is one of the only boats that I've seen so far that's throwing spinnerbaits and not lipless crankbaits.
I got one. I got one.
Oh, Dad's got one. Oh, look at that one. He's got a huge one. Look at this one.
Woo. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Kind of interesting hearing Scott comment on his father's catch, which was a pretty good sized fish, but they are practically in a cast of each other.
Good one.
Woo. And Tommy started looking at these sticks around the boats. Again, I want to point out that those sticks are kind of defining that break line, and there's a drop off into 6 or 8 feet of water, and on the shallow side of the flat, probably just 2 or 3 feet. And
We're inside of the bridge, remember, and they do a lot of dredging and a lot of pulling out dirt and moving around, and that's how this thing got set up years ago.
And you notice that Scott's fish are larger on a consistent basis than anybody.
To catch these fish, unbelievable.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one, y'all.
I don't know where he's a good one if I can keep him out of the trash.
You got it. I got your net.
Oh, man, I'm around. They're on this side here. I might not have no choice where to bring him. Get over here. All right.
Man, that's a good one. That's what might win Ralph the tournament right there.
Yeah. That's what you're looking for. That's the kind of trout you're supposed to catch.
Well, that's a pretty fish there. Pretty fish. Now that I'm tied on.
Them look like Georgia trouts there.
See that little worm?
Yeah, I told you there would be one right on the inside.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too.
That sandbar right on the inside of that deep point.
I see where they're at out here on these little places. They're
I
just
mean,
laying
he hit
around.
so light, I just barely felt him. And I had to keep feeling for him.
It looked like he was just kind of hung there when he jerked. He didn't even move, did he?
Yeah, yeah. And then he went back up there and got in that bush, and I said, oh, no.
Went after that bush.
I thought I already saw he was a good one.
We crown a champion today from this list of co-anglers, and sometimes we don't pay enough attention to the back of the boat. These guys work hard to. Through the years, they have really had their moments.
Big fish like this, they just make you shake all over.
There's a big fish today right there. Oh, there's a big fish in my life. I've definitely learned that I fish too fast. I think I don't stay in an area long enough to even figure out exactly what's going on there. So I'm going to keep those things in mind in the future.
We've had some bad luck today. I don't know what's going on.
Scott has had a spectacular year from the back of the boat along the Walmart FLW Tour all year long.
Why don't you take them and weigh them just for fun? See.
Fish number 5. Are you watching what Jim fishes with and try to fish exactly like he does, or fish exactly opposite that he does?
Well, right at the second, I'm trying to fish like he is because he just pulled in 2 keepers, but
It's
Amen. Yes. Yes.
This is really close.
Oh boy, this is too close to call.
This is. What do you think?
Hurry up, they're drying out.
All right, hurry up. Let's put him in there. 6-8 wins, 6-7 ties, 6-6 takes him second place, and let's check the weight. And the weight, 6 pounds, 5 ounces.
This is intense.
This tournament is just meant for Chris Rand.
I don't know what it is. I think there's a spirit here that really, really likes me a lot.
Well, Chris Rand is a perfect example of how important this day really is for those co-eds.
Well, that was then, this is now, and Ralph Wilson's trying hard to make the future highlights reel, I guess.
Got him, Ralph? Yeah, that's a keeper. I knew one was on that sandbar. That's what we're looking for right there. Woo! Carolina rig. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's the best of you, each one.
Now we just catch us 2 good ones, about 3 pounds apiece. Won't be much weight. But the way the wind's blowing today, it's probably going to hurt a lot of people.
There he is.
Oh, yeah. Much better fish. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at there. The hook's just pulled off.
You know, these lakes that Carver's fishing, they don't seem to have a lot of cover in them. There's a lot of sunken logs where Tim was trying to pump that crankbait into and over every log that he could find. Tom, you know there's a real art to fishing those crankbaits. Those guys, I've said this before, those guys just don't throw them out there and reel them back in. That fish right there could have been his ticket to the finals, you know it?
That's as good a fish as we've seen. That's going to go a long way today.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
We went from 3 pounds to 5 to 8 pounds in a hurry.
There's a lot of them right there. There's fish on, fish on. Fish on. Thank you.
What's that, 3? Good.
Reaper Scott Martin, and he's starting to get rolling here, Jared.
He's hammered rolling, Tommy.
Well, I said getting rolling, but he is getting rolling too.
Those fish are moving up and down off that flat into that shallow water. You know, they're just like any other fish, just because they're around that salt water. They're out there looking for bait fish.
Fish on, fish on. Good one. Oh boy. He's right here behind the boat. He's little. There's a stack of them on that point right there.
Scott is really starting to catch him now.
And you know what happens, Tommy, in Roland's defense over there? You start watching the other fishermen catch fish and not focus on what you're doing. And it's hard not to do it. You know, I do it, you do it, anybody in Roland's position would do that. And I think that's what's happened right now. He's paying more attention to his son than he is to himself.
I got one on.
And what, at this point, his partner may be falling into that trap as well.
He's watching. Well, look, Scott he's in a real zone right now. He's got a lot of confidence. He knows the exact speed that little bait ought to be running. He knows right where to throw it. There's just no pressure on him. He's got a limit. He's got everything going for him right now.
I like it. I like it a lot. Nothing wrong with the limit. This has been such an exciting tournament. I mean, the first 2 days I'm running 65 miles in fog and can't see anything, and I don't see anything until I get right here. Had an hour yesterday to fish, catch my limit. It's gonna be an exciting ride back to the boat ramp.
All right, Scott, tell me how long you're allowing yourself to get back to the weigh-in today now that the wind has come up and the conditions have deteriorated.
Well, I've got about 8 pounds. I've got a limit right now with about 8 pounds. If I can get 10 pounds or 11 pounds, I'm going to go ahead and leave. But if not, I'm going to give myself probably close to 3 hours to get back just due to the wind.
Even allowing that much time, are you genuinely concerned that you're going to be able to do it?
Well, I think with 3 hours, it's plenty enough time. It only took us an hour and 40 minutes to get here, so that's almost double the time. So, you know, if we go 20 miles an hour or so, just paddling through the waves, once we get through Mobile Bay, I think it'll be a little better.
Hey, Scott, can you tell us how you originally found this spot?
Well, this spot right here is a very popular place. A lot of the team tournaments are won right here over in Mobile. A couple buddies that live up here, they told us about that the fish had moved in here, but it's a real popular place. There's a tournament tomorrow, a local tournament here in Mobile, and they said that there's probably going to be about 15 boats in this spot.
There's fish. Good. Oh, man.
Daniel Fletcher, who's the non-boater, the co-angler, as we call him, back there in the back of David Fritz's boat, he is still skunked. And, David's catching a little bit better fish. Boy, he's got a long way to go, too.
I'm not doing something right because there's a bunch of big fish in here. Today is the only day I've caught small fish. These big fish are just, I don't know why they're not hitting where they're on the bed. I mean, tomorrow's a full moon, so tomorrow could be, you know, that could be a big factor. But something's going on. So what I need to do is figure out how to catch one more big one.
Over to Randy Howell, who just hasn't had much luck in shallow water, so the solution may be to go a little shallower.
He done eat all the worm he wants.
Yeah, he didn't float up. There's one.
Come on, look at that. Dang. Dang, they make me mad. Might have been the same one. Oh, that stuff stinks, don't it?
Can't get enough worm on fast enough to throw back here, and they bite the tail off every time. I'm scared to jerk too fast, because then they let it go. Three like that. Now look, biting it off. They know I'm throwing a 5/0 hook, and they're biting it right at the 5/0 hook bend. People say bass aren't smart. They're real smart today. They don't like it because
He was right there on that log too.
They don't get on Sports Center enough, so they're not going to bite until they can get on Sports Center. Put some garlic on them because they might be Italians back here. He come right off that log and blast.
I think they're rednecks.
Yeah, they're definitely rednecks. They live in them trailers on high tide, and they live out here on low tide.
Yeah.
Hey,
You'd think if there's rednecks, Randy, they'd bite our worms.
No, there's one. Got that one.
Right.
There we go.
Good partner. Good.
Thank you, Lord.
Good lick.
Thank you. Hold on. Oh, yeah. You're all right. Waited just a hair longer, and he got it that time. One more for the home team. Not big, but we'll take him.
Oh yeah, that'd be big in my category.
Probably good that we come on back through that mud now. That's 3 bites that quick. Could have had 3 fish if I could have hooked them all.
One more and you're gonna have me do it.
Hooking them or not, it's always entertaining to watch Randy Howell. Now back to Scott Martin. He is culling fish. Now earlier today he told us
Thank you, baby.
he got around 10 pounds. He was going to go ahead and start his trip back home. Catching them so good now, though, he may think twice. He may stick around a while.
We found another little wad up there. See what happens. Fish. Oh, he's still on. He's still on. Oh, he's still on. I'll get him.
We talked a little bit about Scott Martin's partner, wondered why he couldn't keep up with Scott, and now Randy Howell, who's a heck of a bass fisher, has got to be scratching his head, wondering the same thing about Ralph Wilson, and that's got to be wearing on his mind.
12 inches long, that's all as good as it had to be. All right.
I think Ralph's going to win the tournament, boys. There ain't no doubt. Did he come off? Did he come off?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
Thank
He
you,
hit
thank
that
you.
worm as soon as it hit the bank.
Hit, he took off with it.
That's a flush worm bite there.
That's what it's all about. That's 4.
Who's whacking me? Oh, boom.
All right. Just rig it Texas style, you know, that's all you do. Just, and I like the green pumpkin color, and I like to put a little chartreuse on the tail. I don't know what they have here, but at home, our brim are dark colored, and they got a tail and it's chartreuse looking, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of what I don't know where that's has anything to do with it or not, but it has to do with your confidence, you know. And your confidence has a lot to do with it. I missed one back there, Randy.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got there and get him. I came in here so you could finish your limit.
Oh, well, I hope so. He just had to hold the tail of it. Probably a small one.
I want you to finish your limit real quick so I can go ahead and catch some in another spot.
Yeah. He probably won't come back.
Today,
There you go, Scott.
Walmart FLW Tour this week fishing out of Pascagoula, Mississippi. These two anglers right there, Scott Martin and his partner Alan Holt, just down the road in Gaucher, Mississippi, have gone all the way to Mobile Bay here, and Alan Holt's finally getting something going.
And Allen's the guy that could make a run at Ralph Wilson, I think, just simply because, man, he's with Scott, and they're sitting on the biggest school in Alabama, I think.
Yeah, probably
they
so.
are around fish.
All right, number 3 for Alan. Well, Alan, don't see that would have been fatal. Gets into politics when you put your fish in the wrong live well.
I was just testing y'all. I spent the first 2 days within 5 miles of the ramp switching on the fall. Caught every fish I caught right there by the ramp. This is a lot different. There you go, Scott. Scott, good fish. Woo! Son! If I can ever get my rattle strap undone. You can put him in that side. I won't stop you. I think Wesley's right. I might be a little bit nervous.
They might be just a little bit nervous about a shootout between Ralph Wilson and himself. And Ralph now has Randy Howell changing baits. Ralph continues to catch good fish.
All time. I hope so. Oh,
Golly. Dang, go. Come on, Ralph. That hurt. That was a good thing. You see it? You saw it, didn't you? You do a bit better than that other one. Yeah. A lot better than that one.
It's Roland Martin. He's going to give up the 5 here in Mobile Bay, at least for today. He may have a couple of places to hit on his way back closer to the take.
He may be going to Ralph Wilson's home.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Isn't that something? You know, I think Scott ought to start thinking about going home as well. He just gets so many fish that it's kind of hard to leave. But you know what? Now this time management really starts playing into the game here. It's not just all about catching fish. It's knowing exactly how to handle your boat and how to get back on time.
You know, the length of it, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's an action or something, but I did better with the trick than I did with the finesse. So, you know, you go with what.
He ain't told me that all day. Steve. You give me a finesse.
Well, I asked you, I said, what did you want? You said you wanted to, and you see I've been fishing. When I've been fishing, and I don't know that it makes any difference.
I know,
you know?
I'm just having fun.
It's just the man on the other end, Randy. You know that.
That's all it is, I know.
Look at here. Look at here.
All right, go ahead and catch another one. Cole, you got him. He got him. I'm going to put me a trick worm on. God almighty.
Ain't this something? Ain't this something? No.
He's bigger than that other one, I think.
Yeah, ain't that something? Look at that. Ain't them pretty trouts?
People on TV going to think they're trout.
Well, see, in South Georgia.
It's called a green trout, right?
No. When I was a kid, everybody down there called a bass a trout. You know?
Give me a doggone trick worm.
Okay.
Going on my hook right quick.
Well, look in
I'll get 'em.
in that box there, and there's some in that box right there somewhere.
Randy Howell, you can't blame him. Finally going with if you can't beat him, join him. Scott Martin now headed back across the Gulf to Mississippi. We are back here at the tent. It is weigh-in time. What a crowd we have here at Pascagoula, Mississippi. A huge crowd, and these folks are really, really into their bass fishing. We weighed in 6 co-anglers so far. Actually, we weighed in 7 now. Our leader at this point is Danny Strand from Champaign, Illinois. Danny has got 6 pounds, 2 ounces of bass.
Please welcome from Gautier, Mississippi, Alan Hope.
Wow. What it is. That's pretty good. All right. Let's get around this way, Alan.
That is amazing. All right, you know the job to do. 6 pounds, 2 ounces Danny's friends got. Got to have 6-3 to take over the lead. Let's pull them out. Get started. There's number 1. Here comes fish number 2. I'm getting nervous, Danny. There's number 3. That's a little better fish. There's fish number 3. He reaches it again. Pull it up. There's number 4. That's it. 4 fish. Let's watch the scales real closely here. This could be close. Got to get 6 pounds, 3 ounces to take over the lead. 4 fish. All 4 of these are alive. Total weight here, 6 pounds, 14 ounces in the lead. Wow, this is fun.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I've never seen any place react like this on the Friday weigh-in.
That's great. I'm glad for all the people who came out and support the tournament. This has been a first-class deal. It's the first FLW ever fished. I guarantee you it won't be the last.
You've got one more man between you and $15,000 and a shot at the year-end championship. but he is the guy that caught the most fish, the most weight over the last 2 days.
Yes, sir. I met him, talked to him. He's a great fisherman, great person. I wish him the best of luck.
All right, we shall see. We got one more guy to go. Alan Holtz is their leader. You have 614. It'll take 6 pounds and 15 ounces to keep you from being champion, and it might be had by Ralph Wilson from Warner Robins, Georgia. And here comes our #1 man over the last 2 days. Now, Ralph caught more fish than anybody else. The good news is, Alan, the worst you can do is second place, which ain't bad. Ralph, you know what the job is, 6:15 to win. All right, Ralph, pull him out of Ralph Wilson, Warner Robins, Georgia. Been fishing Operation Bass tournaments as long as there's been an Operation Bass. Fishing now on the co-angler side of the Walmart FLW Tour. There's 2 small, what we call peanuts. Alan's not worried yet. Not worried yet. Are you worried? No, that's a little better fish there. There's fish number 3. Okay, reaching for number 4. Got to get to 6:15 to take over the lead. There's number 4. And I'll tell you where we're at right now. We're at 5 pounds and 8 ounces is where we're at right now. Need one more to have a shot at it. All right, before you weigh in that last fish, don't reach again. Let's watch what's happening here on the screen right here.
Did you? Hey, that's a good one. That's a good one, y'all.
I don't know where yeah, he's a good one if I can keep him out of the trash.
You might be right. You got it. I got your net.
Oh, man, that's not around.
They're on this side here.
I might not have no choice where to bring him. Get over here. All right.
That's what my...
All right, boy, that was... What time did you catch that fish?
I don't remember. About 12 o'clock, I think.
At 12 o'clock? Did you have much fishing time left?
Yeah, we fished till 3 o'clock.
Was that your 5th fish or 4th fish or 3rd fish?
No, that was the 3rd fish, I think.
Is it the one that's in the bag?
Yeah.
Let's see him. Bring him out of there. Pull him out and let's see. He's got 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Here he is. That's exactly the fish he caught out there. All right, Ralph, let's send him in here. Alan, step up close where we can check this weight. But this one might very well do it. He has a limit of fish. 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our only limit today. 5 fish, all alive. 8 pounds, 9 ounces. A winner. Ralph Wilson, Carolina rigging out there. What are you doing Carolina rigging here in southern Mississippi?
That's all I know how to do.
It worked pretty good for you today.
It worked excellent the last 2 days.
On ticket. This week on the Walmart FLW Tour, our Fujifilm flashback could well have been Ralph Wilson's big fish. That was nice. But we're going to go with this one right here. Nice bass that Tim Carver caught way up the Pascagoula River here. The fish that put him into the final 5. We're going to fish for the championship on the Pascagoula River. Charlie Evans is standing by to introduce us to all 5 anglers.
45 guys going to walk away with $100,000, and it might be Rob Kilby from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Or it could be Gerald Swindell from Warrior, Alabama. Or possibly Kim Carver from Milledgeville, Georgia. Looking for 4 and 8.
Caught every fish this week throwing a crankbait. I'm just throwing, cranking real slowly around a lot of wood. Fishing, I have to make multiple casts to the spots I'm fishing. It's just been real hard and real slow, and I'm not getting a lot of bites, but I have got a lot of good bites this week.
Maybe Marty Stone from Fayetteville, North Carolina. A 5 bass limit. Looking good.
I've been catching on 2 baits. One was the same bait that I did real well at Okeechobee. It's a Gambler spinner bait. It's a prototype that I've been working on with Gambler baits. And the others, I've got on some fish with a rattling vibe Yozuri crankbait. It's just a lipless crankbait. But those are the same two baits did well at Okeechobee, same two I'm doing here, and it's the same situation. I'm fishing grass.
For the champion might be Scott Martin from Clewiston, Florida.
Fishing right across the pond from him over there. Number 3. Steadiest, most solid performer last year on the co-angler side on the Walmart FLW Tour, made you co-angler of the year. You couldn't wait to get out here on the angler side.
No, and I'm glad I did the co-angler. If there's anybody out there that's thinking about fishing the pro side, I definitely recommend going through the co-angler. I learned a lot. You see how different people fish. You know, you're never going to learn anything new unless you go with somebody else and see what they're doing, because you're only going to know what you know. And so I learned a lot last year, and it gave me a lot of confidence and seeing how things work. And so I feel real comfortable. I wasn't nervous at all today. When I started this tournament, or I started this year, my goal was to make one top 10.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.